first, when I met her, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, like you do with anybody, I would think. But it was she's very confusing and lied a lot.
Do you think she was good for your brother? What gave you that impression?
Because she was an addict and she just wasn't good. I don't know, it's just not what her for me, I don't know.
Did you witness anything in particular about her behavior that gave you concern?
Yes, one time, she come to my mom's and she was asking us to stay. And when my mom approached her on the back porch, or was like coming towards her, she kind of like, she didn't say anything. She just kind of like lifted her leg up, like with her hand to like, if you were to knee someone. And it didn't sit right with me, and I told my mother not to let her stay.
Was this after Ryan had been arrested? After this incident?
Yes, sir.
And she had come to your house? You live with your mother?
No, sir.
Okay. You were just over at your mother's
Yes,
house?
sir.
And you said that she was asking to stay with your mother?
Yes, sir.
And this motion that you made, she didn't actually touch your mom.
No, sir.
What was she doing?
The energy that I had got from it, I didn't trust it because it was odd.
Anything else that you can think of about her behavior, demeanor that gave you concern?
Just, like I said, it would be very confusing. Like, she would say one thing and then people would ask me another thing, and when I would ask her about it, she would just continuously lie. Like, I would catch her in a lot of lies.
So did you actually spoke with Alicia after the incident that we're here for?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you contact her, or did she contact you?
She contacted me
Once, or
numerous times.
what was this subject matter of this contact?
That she loved my brother, that my brother was innocent, that she wanted to beat him out, just to the rounds of that.
So other than the time that you just talked about, did you see her in person any other times?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
What was the context of those meetings?
Just the same thing, like her telling us that she wanted to get my brother out, how much she loved him, how good he was to her, stuff like that.
Did she appear threatened by Ryan at that time?
Absolutely not.
And do you know Alicia Childers?
Yes, sir.
How do you know her?
She got brought to my house one afternoon by my childhood friend, Wilkie Foster.
And do you know how long she was with Ryan before all this?
A few weeks. It wasn't long at all.
How did you feel about Alicia?
I did not think that she was good for him because I myself witnessed her talking to several other people, not only when she was with Ryan, but when she was with Wilkie.
What do you mean by talking to several other people?
She had several men sending her money and having very intimate conversations with.
Okay. Is there anything else that you witnessed about her behavior that gave you concern?
Near the end, when she started talking to herself and then started mumbling replies, and I'd ask her what she said, and she'd look at me like she'd never said anything, like I didn't say anything, and I clearly heard her.
Okay. Are you aware of any mental health issues that she has?
She had several different things that she told me. She was bipolar. She told us that she had seizures. She told us that she had several different type of mood altering mental medicines that she had tried.
So after this incident, did you have contact with Alicia?
Yes, sir.
Did she contact you, or did you contact her?
She called me from Kentucky.
From Kentucky?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember about when that was?
It was in the very beginning of June or either the end of May. Because I know on June 10th is when we left for our family vacation.
Okay, so this would have been 2 or 3 weeks after Roger and Debbie were killed,
Yes, sir.
and you're saying she was in Kentucky,
Yes, sir.
and so she called you. What did she want?
She was crying and she stated that she didn't want to be there, that she wanted to come back home. She missed all of us and all her friends, and she didn't have anybody up there, and her and her brother weren't getting along.
Okay, so what did she do? What did you do when she gave you that information?
I went to pick her up.
And where'd y'all go?
Well, she came back to my house at first, then she went to work with me for a few days, and then we left for my family vacation.
How do you know her?
I met her in jail,
And where was that?
Georgetown County, Tennessee.
How did you meet her in jail?
We were roommates for 5.5 months.
Okay. Did you get to know her fairly well during that time?
Yeah, I spent 23 hours a day locked down in an 8x4 cell with her, so yeah, I got to know her.
And what kind of person was she?
She comes off as caring and sweet at first, but the first sign of any kind of difference of opinion or anything like that, she turns real vindictive and hateful.
Okay. Did you observe any of her behavior like that in the jail?
Oh yeah.
Could you tell us about that, please?
She would, like, if I talked to somebody she didn't like, she would get mad at me and cuss at me and threaten to want to fight. And then if other inmates disagreed with her, then she'd want to fight.
Did you ever observe her fighting with anybody?
She did one time, chase a girl. But I managed to hold her back so the girl could get out into the hallway.
Okay. Were those isolated incidents, or was that something that you saw over the whole course of those months?
There was a lot of it.
Okay. Now, were you friendly at all with her?
Yeah, she was my best friend.
So were there some times where she was?
Yeah, she was cool sometimes.
Okay.
We talked a lot about our kids and life and what we were gonna do whenever we got out of jail and stuff like that.
Alright. And then you said that there's just some things that maybe trigger her in a way?
Yeah, she's like, when she gets upset or feels like somebody's done something to her, it's like she's got really dark eyes to begin with, but it's like her eyes go black and she's dead inside. It's like there's nothing in there but evil.
Do you know, I'm not talking about anything in the jail, but do you know if she used drugs outside of the jail?
She says she was on heroin and ice,
Okay.
weed.
And you know about this case that we're here to talk about today, right?
I do.
And at some point while you were her cellmate, did you get some information about this case from her?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what did you do with that information?
At first I tried to talk to Lieutenant Mitchum and Sergeant Cannon and Lieutenant Flint and tell them I needed to speak to an investigator or detective or whatever, whoever was over the case, and I got no response out of all three of them.
Did you feel like you felt like it was important enough to seek out 3 different?
I did.
Okay.
And then I happened upon a detective and I took advantage of the situation.
Okay. So you did talk to an investigator about that information.
It was almost to the end of the 7 months that I was there, but yeah.
Okay. And did you receive any kind of deal from the state or the prosecutors for that information?
No.
Okay. They didn't do anything to help you with your charges for giving that information?
No, they didn't ask for it. I made sure they got it though.
In your opinion, pretty substantial information?
Very.
Any testimony live on labels.
Do you have anything to gain from being here today?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know any of these people.
Do you believe that Ryan Woodruff's guilty?
No,
Why not?
I don't.
You know,
I
honestly,
just-
that'd be a opinion testify at labels. We all have our opinions.
Nothing further. And do you know Alicia Childers?
Yes,
How do you know her?
we grew up together in Georgetown,
And when was that?
September of 2021.
Okay. How long were you cellmates with her?
About 45 days, maybe a little longer.
If you could just speak up.
I'm sorry, about 30 to 45 days, maybe a little bit longer.
What kind of person is Alicia?
A monster, like, scary.
And why do you say that?
From the way she acted in the jail, like, she had so much anger built up in her. She always wanted to fight people or start trouble with people or just mean. Like, she scares me.
So, did you not like rooming with her then, I guess?
It made me feel really uncomfortable, and I'm a Christian, and she's like, you could tell that she's not like a good person, like mean.
Did she ever, do anything to you?
Yeah, she tried to fight me one day, cause I guess I was reading a book, and I started talking, and she was trying to sleep, cause her head was hurting, and she just flipped out on me. Very unstable.
What did she do?
Just getting my face, yelling at me, screaming at me, cussing at me, just being really disrespectful.
Anything else that she did to you physically?
Yeah, she would try to touch me in places that she did is very inappropriate,
Okay.
multiple times.
Did you ever observe her being violent to anyone else in the jail?
Yeah, she's gotten about maybe 1 or 2 fights while I was there. She would beat at the wall or beat on the door. She couldn't get away, and if the CEO told her to hold on a minute, she would demand something like right now, threaten people. Like, it was crazy. I've never seen nothing like that. It's on TV.
So I guess you didn't wanna stay in touch with her after?
I never would. I was scared to come here today because we were all supposed to see her.
Right, well, thank you for being here, and, do you know something about the case that we're here today?
Oh, yes. I wish I didn't, but yes, they're right here.
Okay, 'cause I guess, while you were her cellmate, did Alicia give you information about this case?
She did.
Okay, and we're not allowed to talk about what she told you specifically, but, do you remember, what you observed her doing right before she gave you that information?
I do.
Can you please tell the jury?
She felt like she was like convicted of something. She started crying like something was weighing on her really bad, and I guess at that point she had started to trust me, so she was able to talk to me about some stuff that she probably wouldn't have talked about to anybody else. And
And what specifically did you see her doing at that time?
crying and pointing.
To what?
I was reading a book and it said, I did it.
Okay. It was a line in a book that she was reading? Okay. And then she proceeded to provide you this information?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do with that information?
I took it and ran straight to the CEO
Immediately?
immediately.
And what did they do?
And took me to the head investigator who was there that day, the case. I went and talked to him. I don't recall his name though.
Hank Keristin, does that sound right?
That's it, yes, sir.
And, did he record that interview with you?
He sure did.
And you told them everything that you knew?
Everything to a T.
And then, at some point, a while later, you had a second interview,
Yes, sir, it did.
and that was with law enforcement as well. right?
Yeah, well, I was in
about this case?
Yes, sir.
Did you receive, any kind of deal from the prosecutors for your statement?
Not a deal, just like, just, you know, they really needed me and they would help me if I helped them, you know, not really like an offer or deal, but, you know.
Yeah.
I would do anything to help anybody who's not guilty of something, especially whenever she told me that she did it in detail.
Alright, we're not allowed
Oh,
to.
I'm sorry.
So, do you have anything to gain by being here today?
No, I'm actually scared, I was scared to come,
Why did you wanna be here?
because I think everybody, what was right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I believe I know the truth about something, and I believe this needs to come out, and needs justice for that family.
Is it safe to say that you don't want somebody to be convicted for something